CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart and STA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Montpelier mourns. 6-month-old parishes in St. James fire. You can trust us. Finance Minister outlines government's fiscal plan as budget debate begins. And later, ready, set, go. Stage set for annual IDB meeting in Paraguay. And CVM News is on location. In Tech Pulse, deep fakes and misinformation in the age of artificial intelligence. In the business report, pension funds unleashed, exploring the finance minister's budget presentation. And later on in sports, West Indies team en route to the Caribbean after delay in India due to ongoing conflict.
CVM News at 7 headlines Tuesday, courtesy of Heart and STA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
CVM News at 7 Tuesday, brought to you by
the KFC value menu. As you're thinking chicken, get the famous pork combo for just $640.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Tuesday, March 10, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks for joining us. Up first this evening, a 6-month-old baby is dead and a Montpelier family in mourning after an early morning fire gutted their 4-bedroom dwelling in the hilly St. James community. Investigators are still probing the cause of the fire. CVM's Kingsley Thompson was on location.
A mother's grief, a father's pain, an entire community swamped with sorrow.
Yeah, no more. My father come like a batter, my butt. It's just rough. It's just a rough moment.
Guinea Tree, Montpelier, St. James will never be the same following this morning's devastating fire, which claimed the life of a 6-month-old baby girl. With a mother at hospital with a 12-year-old son, a father retired to bed with 5 other children. Moments after 1, fire was seen coming from the 4-bedroom dwelling.
We are so we are here for a blaze up. When time me try to help, me never can do nothing. Less than 10 minutes, the house catch a fire. I'm saying the sleep, I hear the pop sound. And he get up and look and the whole place light up and he run come out. So he said, I don't know what caught the fire. He just asleep and it doesn't heat wake him up. Everybody in the house when asleep.
Sheldon Graham jumped through a window, but went back for his children. His 17-year-old son made attempts to save the baby, but was no match for the inferno.
My baby brother, we left him up at hospital because he get little burn on his body.
The baby playing yesterday. I say, oh, you're happy, so. She happy yesterday, so heal.
2 units from Montego Bay responded to the fire, but the hilly terrain slowed their action. When cooling down operation was over, the remains of 6-month-old Naimira was found. Still in shock and disbelief, a mother cries for her baby.
Naimira! Oh! Oh, Jesus have mercy!
Reporting from Montego Bay, Kingsley Thompson, CVM News.
Taxi operators in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region say they have been forced to withdraw their services following enforcement actions by the Transport Authority. Speaking at a meeting with operators today, Lorraine Finnegan, president of the All Voice Route Taxi Association, explained why these operators are in contravention of their licenses and why the industry is now in turmoil.
The operators have decided to pull their service. They have decided to have a motorcade across the KMTR, and they have also making plan to demonstrate. They have reached out to me, myself, President Newman and President Pattison, and we asked them to meet with us here so that we could have a one-to-one discussion with them face-to-face, listen to their issues, their concern, the problem that they face, try as best as we could to avert the industrial action that they were planning to take. And from this meeting, we will be making representation on their behalf to the Transport Authority and to the Jamaica Urban Transit Company.
Meanwhile, taxi operators present argued that despite helping to move thousands of commuters across underserved routes in the KMTR, they are now being forced off the roads.
We are not comfortable in this HACKNEY carriage we have here. So we are applying and asking for the route as the Transport Authority requests us to run it.
All of the pressure I get, I beg us ease up a little bit, because watch you know. When I wreck away, I will not have no work, tell me how it work out. I remember we are the service for UNO. And UNO give with the authority to do the work.
And to see me out here, and if I run from police and I from transport, it don't make no sense, because we want to be out here. We have a purpose to be out here. You understand? And that's the first purpose. We are here and withdrawing our service today. And until we get a better response from the government towards this, we're not going to stop withdrawing our service.
We're not criminals. We are loving people. We are abiding citizens. So when the government treating us now like we are criminals now, it's not fair.
You can bank on us, the message from Finance Minister Favour Williams as she laid out the government's fiscal plan for the upcoming year. She insists the island's net international reserves are strong, while advising this is why the government ought not party with the rent money. Committed to riding out any storm or geopolitical conflicts, the Finance Minister told Jamaicans they are safe with the Andrew Holness-led administration. This amid recent turmoil in the Middle East impacting global oil prices and on the heels of Hurricane Melissa last October. She says the nation boasts a strong net international reserve and is still in good standing.
You can bank on us. You have seen our performance. And we will take this nation safely through whatever the world throws at us, whatever the climate throws at us. We have the capability, we have the leadership to take Jamaica through any adversity.
Minister Williams says despite the impact of Hurricane Melissa, Jamaica managed to retain a strong credit rating from key international agencies. And although many doubted whether it would still be possible, the minister announced an increased income tax threshold come April 1.
I will remind Jamaicans that come April 1, the new threshold takes effect, 1.9 million threshold. And to say to our public sector workers as well, the government's offer remains on the table.
She also responded to concerns raised about the government's financial strategies and outlook, specifically addressing the fiscal commissioner's comments regarding inflation.
I want to call the commissioner's attention to the fact that there is a lot of reconstruction activities happening all over Jamaica on the part of businesses and private people. Madam Speaker, the bottom line is CPI and GDP deflator are related, but not the same thing. In normal times, they track closely, and there's little difference. However, in the aftermath of an event like a Category 5 hurricane, where domestic production in certain areas has been decimated with scarcity influencing price of locally produced goods, and there's a surge in demand for reconstruction from citizens and businesses, we can have a wider than usual variance between CPI and the GDP deflator.
We take a break. Stay with us.
The KFC value menu has you thinking chicken. Get the famous bowl combo for just $640. KFC.
Employers, once a month, you have the power to shape Jamaica's future. By paying your hard 3% contribution, you're not just contributing, you're investing in people, in skills, in our economy. Your hard contribution trains working-age Jamaicans, aligns programs with workforce needs, and secures our future. That's not just contribution, it's transformation. Contribute to heart and to your future.
Do it for your best life, do it. Go check your HIV status, wait. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it, don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Well, the stage is set for the annual meeting of Boards of Governors of the Inter-American Development Bank. The meeting will take place in Asunción, Paraguay from March 11 to 14, and CVM's Amoy Harriet is on location.
Thanks, Nika. I'm here in Asunción, Paraguay. The building you're seeing behind me is where, in a matter of hours, regional and global leaders will gather for the Inter-American Development Bank IDB annual meetings. Now, over the next few days, finance ministers, central bank governors, development experts, and private sector leaders will be meeting to discuss one big question: how to grow and improve the economies of Latin America and the Caribbean. Now, from Jamaica, we're expecting to see faces like that of Chairman of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, Dr. Wayne Henry, as well as former Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, who is now the Deputy Managing Director at the IMF. Now, it's unclear at this time if Favour Williams, that is our current Finance Minister, will be in attendance. Now, the names I mentioned earlier will be among a group of over 4,000 participants from at least 48 countries that are expected to attend the meetings here in Paraguay. And organizers are saying that, interestingly, interest from the private sector has increased this year, with a lot of countries now looking for new investment and partnerships to tackle some of the region's biggest challenges at this time. Now, this year's meeting come at a significant moment for the IDB group, because it says in 2025, the group recorded a record-breaking year, seeing some over $35 billion in financing for both Latin America and the Caribbean. Now, among the key issues that will be discussed at this year's meeting include matters such as economic growth, infrastructure development, climate resilience, and financing for emerging economies. IDB's president, Elon Golfan, in a post on X earlier today, he said that they're here with 4 clear priorities this year. 1, boosting private investment as a driver of development. 2, advancing integration among countries willing to move forward. 3, harnessing the potential of critical minerals. And 4, supporting countries that are transforming their economies. Now, for countries like Jamaica, these conversations matter because our needs are clear: stronger infrastructure, more investment, support for economic growth, and funding to help the country prepare for climate change and natural disasters. And that's pretty much where the IDB group comes in, because they remain one of the largest source of financing for the region. Now, CVM will be on the ground speaking to policymakers, development experts, as well as private sector interests to hear how the outcomes of these meetings matter to Jamaica. And of course, I'll be giving you those daily updates from now until Saturday. Reporting from Asuncion, Paraguay, I'm Amoy Harriet for CVM News. It's back to you in studio.
Thanks, Amoy. Well, Environment Minister Matthew Samuda is calling on young Jamaicans to take a more active role in protecting the environment. He made the appeal while addressing students at the Titchfield High School in Portland. Kevin Black tells us more.
And climate change, Matthew Samuda is encouraging young Jamaicans to play a role in protecting the environment. Speaking at an environmental awareness program at Titchfield High in Portland recently, Matthew Samuda highlighted what he calls the global triple planetary crisis.
The environmental challenges are generally put into 3 categories. We refer to it as a triple planetary crisis. The first part of the crisis is biodiversity loss. The second part of the crisis is pollution. And the third part of the crisis is indeed climate change. So when we discuss environmental protection and restoration and what we want you to be able to do, it is really to help us correct the issues that have created this crisis. But it is important that you understand these problems, you're conscious of them, and you're conscious of the actions that can indeed fix them if we are to ensure that we leave the planet a better place.
The minister said one of the major drivers of environmental damage is pollution, which he notes is closely linked to human consumption habits. He explained that the choices people make about what they buy and use have a direct impact on levels of waste and pollution.
Because ultimately, if we don't understand the challenges, we can't fix them. But what are these challenges and how were they created and what are the fixes? Well, firstly, pollution. Pollution is largely caused by what we decide to consume. You see, no factory is going to manufacture something or make something if you're not going to purchase it, if you're not going to consume it.
Matthew Samuda also pointed out that pollution extends beyond the garbage people can see. He said vehicle emissions, energy production, and waste discharged into waterways all contribute to the problem.
Pollution comes in many other forms. It comes in how we produce energy. It comes from the emissions from vehicles that we indeed drive. It is human decision about what it is we want around us, what we want to eat, what we want to drink, what we want to live in, what we want to wear, what we want to drive in, that determines the level of pollution.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Mosquito control is everybody's business. This is why 12 thermal fog machines were installed to assist in preventing existing vector-borne illnesses in eastern Jamaica. The Portland Health Department believes these will significantly strengthen their ability to respond effectively to the wellness needs of their communities. More from Crystal Williams.
12 thermal fog generators have been installed by the Northeastern Regional Health Authority as vector control remains a critical component in protecting the health and well-being of the population within the areas of Portland, St. Mary, and St. Anne. Medical Officer of Health in St. Mary, Dr. Tamara Henry Gilpin, says this will go a far way in ensuring that the numbers of pests in the area is kept at a minimum. She encourages the public to allow for the fog to infiltrate their homes.
Open your windows and your doors. We don't want you to lock up from us because the only way we can get the mosquitoes if the chemical penetrates your home. If you have any respiratory illness, protect yourself as well. You can cover your nose with a mask, but we want you to know that we are there to help you.
She continues to implore the public to safeguard their premises, their water supply, and water storage from vector-borne pests.
If you are storing water, make sure you do it safely. And when you see us coming around to treat your water, please don't turn the team away. We will help you to make sure that the water remains safe so that you can use it.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
We take a break. Stay with us.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
Chicken, mega deal, super chicken, mega.
The KFC value menu. As you're thinking chicken, get the famous bowl combo for just $640. KFC.
It's Christmas in March, only at Courts. Get up to 50% off select furniture, appliances, and electronics. Happiness is when you buy now and pay later with Courts Ready Finance. Plus 20% off 18 to 48 months credit. It's Christmas in March, happening now only at Courts. Bringing value home. Promotion ends March 31, 2026. Conditions apply.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Still in the local news, the opposition is continuing to blast the government over its decision to scrap the Cuban medical program. Speaking with CVM News outside the nation's parliament on Tuesday, St. Catharines South MP Fitz Jackson described the discontinuation as disgraceful. Natasha Williams reports.
We're live here at Gordon House for the National Budget Presentation on 2026-2027 with Finance Minister Favour Williams. Some government officials have already arrived and we'll be hearing their comments and feedback on some topical issues.
Fitz Jackson also rubbished claims from Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith re the third-party influence on the final agreement on the matter.
You know, it is unfortunate and it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful how this government have treated the government and people of Cuba. For over 50 years, they have demonstrated genuine and sincere friendship. You know your friends when you are in need and they come to your assistance. Cuba has been that to us.
However, He disagreed with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's previous comments on describing the exchange of services from the medical professionals to Jamaica as, and I quote, forced labor.
The argument advanced by the Minister of Foreign Affairs as a basis of termination, unilateral termination, as the Cubans have said, and if you ask me, I believe the Cubans in this more than I believe my government. Regrettable. But the frivolous argument that the Minister of Finance advanced at the Standing Finance Committee and in subsequent news releases is again disgraceful. Payments are being made to the Cuban government for the workers or on behalf of the workers who come here. To be frank, what is unique about that? In the case of the Cuban health service workers, the contractual arrangement is between the government of Jamaica and the government of Cuba.
Mr. Jackson said he remains hopeful but not optimistic about its outcome.
I have had the opportunity to interact with a number of Cuban health care workers in Jamaica and in my constituency. None of them are forced workers, forced labor. You know, if that argument is to have any credibility, why aren't they asking the Chinese workers to leave? It's frivolous and it's dishonest. It's dishonest. All I can say, better days will come. We are not losing hope in our country and what we need to do. The opposition is steadfast. We will stand with we stand with the Cuban government on this matter. We stand with the people of Jamaica who are the beneficiaries of the services that they so ably provide to our people.
The Cuban Eye Care program, which was discontinued recently, will officially end on the 20th of March.
And the government has no immediate action, but they took immediate action to terminate. So it is clear. It is responding to other demands, other instructions, rather than giving priority to the demands of our people.
When you say other instructions and other demands, you mean from the U.S.?
All the entities and governments that would have instructed them. I no doubt the U.S. government is one of them.
Despite the government's offer of individual contracts to healthcare workers, Cuba says it will withdraw its 277 medical professionals currently serving in Jamaica. Natasha Williams, CVM News.
As the war rages on in the Middle East, TechPulse seeks the truth in another war, an expanding sea of fake news and misinformation brought on by AI and deepfakes. Let's dive in.
This week in TechPulse, we talk deepfakes and the latest developments around this AI-generated issue. But first, what are deepfakes? They've been around since 2017. Deepfakes are AI-generated videos, images, or audio that look real but are fake.
I mean, for example, if I wore your face with my beard, it would still get through potentially.
How easy would it be to change it to look like my passport?
Well, this is it. With just a single photo that we have from you that we found online, we can just place that in front of the camera. And then I've got, if we cut to it, there we go. If we look to the actual webcam footage, you can actually see that we put your face on that document.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. So it's all the other details, but it's your face on there. And it's just as easy if I manage to get hold of it.
Doesn't it? I have to say, I don't normally look like, if I showed you my passport photograph, it would not look anything like as good as that. So that is one way.
So there's
if you're looking at my passport, you can identify a scam.
So they use deep learning to mimic faces and voices. While fun for movies or memes, they can spread misinformation, impersonate people, and even fuel scams. It's why some argue it must be stopped.
Others are using it for far more nefarious purposes.
We're providing $5,200 to any American earning less than $50,000 a year. We've made it simpler than ever with our new online portal.
And it's not just political figures.
This technology can be used to mimic anyone's voice.
By using the voices of these celebrities, these scammers are creating a previously unattainable level of trust with their unsuspecting victims, creating fraudulent marketing campaigns that rake in more money than most real ones. And as the technology continues to improve, the lines between what is real and what is fake will only
continue to blur.
Just Monday, the BBC reported that technology company Meta removed.
All right, but for now, an advanced look at Lead Story Prime. Jody and Quarry joins us.
Hi, Nika. Today we're going to be looking at what the Minister of Finance has called perhaps the most consequential budget. Today's budget day, and we're going to break down the numbers, helping you understand what it means, what it says, and what it didn't, as we deal with Hurricane Melissa, oil prices, and all the controversy to come.
Thanks, Jody. You should join us. It's must-see TV. But for now, we take a break. More to come in CVM News at 7 in a moment.
KFC value menu has you thinking chicken. Get the famous combo for just $640.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Chicken, mega deal, super chicken, mega deal.
The KFC value menu has you thinking chicken. Get the famous combo for just $640. KFC.
Hey, what I want? Hi, I am Candy Pang.
What a guan? What a guan?
That a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a one! Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan, pa. What a guan?
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Welcome back. It's now time for regional and international news with Marshall Hazley.
We begin with regional news. In St. Lucia, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre says the Ministry of Finance is assessing the significant cost of protecting citizens from a sharp rise in fuel prices, with global prices surging past $100 per barrel. We hear more from DBS TV.
Oil prices rose on Monday to over $100 per barrel as a result of the Middle East war, which pits the US and Israel against Iran. Global observers note this is the highest pump in 4 years since the COVID-19 global pandemic.
Over on the international scene, Iranian drones have struck Dubai and Abu Dhabi, with Bahrain and Kuwait also reporting damage. At least 10 people have been killed across the Gulf so far, most of them security personnel or foreign workers. BBC News reports.
As you can see, the Gulf states often avoid direct confrontation with Iran over the past at least 50 years, right after the Islamic Revolution. We have a lot to lose. We have a lot at risk compared to other states in the region, as you can tell around the Middle East. Of course, it's not easy to give all that up just for, 10 days of bombardment.
Meanwhile, Israeli artillery shelling has been reported in Khan Yunis and the center of the Gaza Strip. Palestinian officials say at least 6 people have been killed in Israeli strikes, including 3 children and a journalist. Some of the attacks hit makeshift shelters housing displaced families. Al Jazeera has the details.
Well, in the past 24 hours, at least 7 Palestinians have been killed. There were a couple of airstrikes in different areas across the Gaza Strip, in the eastern parts of Khan Yunis, in Abasan, in Nusayrat, and also in the Gaza City, in the northern parts of the Gaza City. And a journalist has been killed. 3 Palestinian children were also killed. And this makes the death toll of Palestinians killed since the beginning of the ceasefire to 648.
And that's it for regional and international news. I'm Marshall Hazley.
Time now for social media.
What's trending online today? Reggae Sumfest 2026 will not be held at its home in Catherine Hall, Montego Bay. Instead, the festival heads to a new venue, Plantation Cove in St. Anne, for this year's staging, for what the organizers say will be a one-off, one-night event, even as they emphasize that Mobay is its home. Let's hear what you had to say. At Alton_Bedward_JA_Blumen comments, if it's one night Gully Gaza, it has to be at the National Stadium. Shuttle service from locations in Kingston, Portmore, and other areas park and ride. That's a nightmare venue, 6 hours from the toll. Extremely hard to properly engineer the sound system. At Shellyan, Quran says, Jamaica food bill is going to be sky high after Trump and Israel done bomb up oil supply. Jamaica, we need songs of unity and godliness, no more division. We're about to struggle with the cost of food and electricity. At _Reina_876 comments, the location in Mobay is a central point. It simply means everyone can literally walk to get to the location. Sumfest is considered one of the biggest events hosted in Jamaica. To take the event to that location makes no sense. It cannot hold the crowd you guys pull. Best to have moved it to Catherine Hall Stadium at least. Then I could have said that may just work. But watch it. At Callow_boy comments, best venue in a Jamaica, and it's very central. Enough parking. And that's what's trending online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
Up next is sports with Jordan Ford. Stay with us.
Ready to make a lasting impact? Transform Life Solutions presents the Global Impact Leadership Summit, Rebuilding Jamaica from the Center. Saturday, April 4, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Garden Hotel in Mandeville, featuring guest speakers the Honorable Professor Leslie Rogers from Trinidad, Honorable Dr. Patrick Williams from Belgium, Leadership Coach Dr. Jacqueline Cousins from Jamaica. Admission is free. Hotel accommodations and exhibition booth spaces are available. Register now at www.tls-events.com. The Global Impact Leadership Summit, April 4. Don't miss it.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.